PSG leading the break. Gomes looking for the overlap. Alba inside. It's Messi!
Outside, he plays it inside. Great tackle, but no, he's finished off by Jenny. It's a run from him, but it's Messi. It's Iniesta!
Hello community, welcome back to another Barcelona match review. Barcelona loses to Manchester United 2-1. It hurts, it really hurts, man. I really wanted us and this whole squad to really compete for all titles, La Liga, Copa del Rey, of course Super Cup we did win, and Europa League. We couldn't do it, and Xavi also said it multiple times that we want to compete for all titles are important, and seeing some things that he did in this match really makes me confused as to does he really think that anymore or something. But some coolies on Twitter, they were like, Europa League is not that important, it's okay, your La Liga is the important stuff. I disagree, man. I disagree, because our European campaign has really been shambolic in the past years. It has been absolutely shite, and under Xavi we have been going to Europa League twice, and both the times we have been eliminated, and it's really sad. It's really sad. And just imagine like the momentum shift that would have happened if we would have beaten United tonight. Like, it would have been an absolute big momentum shift, but of course we could not get the job done. And fair play to United though. You know what? Ten Hag, the players, absolutely beast, absolute amazing stuff from Manchester United. Ten Hag, the masterclass he pulled in the second half. Of course, we'll talk about that. The players just doing their stuff. Brilliant, man. It's just brilliant. Old Trafford as well. It was amazing for them. And yeah, let's discuss as to how this match panned out. And let's begin with the starting 11. Ter Stegen in goal, our backline Balde, Christensen, Araujo, Koundé. Midfield for Roberto, Busquets, De Jong, Kessié, and up front to Rafinha and Lewandowski. So there were some reports coming up that Xavi would go with the midfield 4, and that indeed happened. He added Roberto on that left midfield position, and of course we had Busquets, De Jong, Kessié as the midfield as expected. And I'm really not that mad with this first half. Actually, I'm pretty happy with that. Why am I even saying that I won't be mad? Because it was actually quite good for Barcelona. And I meant to say that I'm not mad with the lineup, because Roberto being added actually added some stability for us. Of course, we did not have Gavi. So in this match, we needed a player who would have somewhat similar role to him. Of course, what is Gavi's role? Being disruptive, the work rate machine, recovering the ball, and of course progressing with it. And that is something Roberto kind of does, and that's why I guess having Roberto into this lineup kind of makes sense. Because if Balde had to go high up top and try to get try to be explosive and stuff, we needed some defensive cover for him, and Roberto would have provided that. Although the role of Roberto is a little bit different though, because he and Kessié were the 8s, they were the interiors for Barcelona, and mostly De Jong and Busquets were going with the double pivot. But in that first half, it went quite neck to neck. Like in the beginning of the first half, it went neck to neck between Manchester United and Barcelona. There was a very big chance in the early on in half for Bruno Fernandes, but of course Ter Stegen made a very big save. Then after that, Manchester United were doing good in terms of pressing, while Barcelona were having possession. They were constantly pressing them and also cutting the lanes, which was absolutely amazing from Ten Hag. So we were really crumbling up and we were choking up, we were not passing well, getting dispossessed, and then Manchester United were hitting us on the counter-attacks. But then of course, as the half progressed, we slowly came more and more into the match, and of course at the 18th minute we got the goal. We got the lead in this match, and it started off with Balde, who was inside the box, being taken down by Bruno, as Bruno just took his arm away or some shit. And of course the penalty went towards Lewandowski. Lewandowski scored it, and gave Barcelona the lead. And to be honest, De Gea did really fare well. He went in the right direction, got the hand well as well, got the hand for the ball. But you know what? Lewandowski got the goal in, made it 1-0 for Barcelona. And just few minutes before, after that, there was another big opportunity for Barcelona, and this should have been 2-0. This chance should have been 2-0 for Barcelona, where De Gea does a big blunder. Roberto does pretty well in recovering the ball, is inside the box. He should have just shot it instead of just holding the ball for so long. But then United recovered it, and that was the after the penalty, of course, another huge opportunity that we choked badly. And we had to get that, because the mentality, the momentum shift that would have happened from the 2-0 lead, it would have been absolutely brilliant, man. But yeah, we could not score that. And other than that, Barcelona, just in this half, they played pretty good. They had control. It was a little bit shaky in the beginning, and of course throughout the half as well, Manchester United were pressing, and their play style as well is really good. Like, the players have their understanding of each other, the way how Fred and Casemiro connect with each other, as well as when it comes to Weghorst and Sancho. Sancho is actually playing in central mostly in this match, while Bruno was more in the width area, which kind of made Bruno ghost in this first half. He wasn't really that effective, because of course he wasn't in his prime position, in central, and it was actually Sancho. And Weghorst was playing as a striker, so Rashford was going from the left hand side, having those one-on-ones against Koundé, who really didn't have a good time against him. Araujo had to really step up for us and defend against Rashford. But that first half, United did decent. Barcelona had control. United were of course going with the press, and Barcelona in this first half were not really having that much of a good press, because United were easily being able to beat it up with their passes, like how Real Madrid does. It was kind of like that type of scenario, like the link ups and stuff, the passes, while Barcelona, for example, if high up top Lewandowski was there, so if Lewandowski is pushing so easily, they're able to cut him off. And actually with Lewandowski, there used to be one more player, so they usually try to create like a 2v1 situation. But the fair play to Ten Hag, the way he has trained his players, it's actually incredible. Like, he really just has put that confidence in the players to just grab on the press, and then just easily beat it with quick loft ball towards the teammates and stuff. So it really helped Manchester United, and it kind of sucked for us because we were getting beaten easily by our press. But then we started to cut the passing lanes for Manchester United, so that made it a bit more better, while we went with a more structured shape. Like, we used to have a player push as well as players to cut the passing lane, so it was being a bit difficult for Manchester United, and their passing as well started to become shaky as well in that first half. So Barcelona were able to maintain some control. The problem for us was the offensive, was the attack for us, because Roberto and Kessié being the interiors was not really helping us out. Kessié, I will give him fair props to. He really did well in this game, and in that first half as well. Like, his role was a bit different. Like, he was having the physicality type of role, that person to hold the ball near the final third, to not get dispossessed and try to have some connections from there. And that was actually quite good. Kessié did good in that first half, offensively wise as well, and using his physicality to hold the ball, and it sometimes was allowing us to hold the ball, where sometimes you would see Rafinha on the right hand side, Kessié holding the ball, then passes to Rafinha, and Rafinha used to go outside the box shots. I think even he did like 2 outside box shots. And it's not only that, like near the box as well, he used to do well in terms of holding the ball and stuff. The problem actually from this was that we weren't having a effective output from these two, and that was what the problem was. And I guess this is why I wanted Frenkie de Jong to have a little bit rotations with Roberto in this role, because yes, de Jong did have midfield battle with Fred, and he actually did pretty well because he had more pace than Fred, so he was outpacing him and recovering the ball. But if Frenkie de Jong was there to rotate with Roberto, while Roberto would be a little more deeper, like he wouldn't be that high up top, because of course he doesn't have pace, he would lose in pace with Fred. And Frankie de Jong, if he would have been an option to be towards the attack, give those passes and stuff, give those crosses maybe from the left hand side, which he does really well at times. So he can be a really big clutch player for us in those scenarios. He would have been an effective output for us. And also Rafinha was not really well tested in this match. Balde as well on the left hand side. It's probably because that Xavi went with this idea that we want to have control. We don't want to quickly play or just to go too ham. After that goal was scored, we tried to calm things down. We wanted to have control. And you know what? That's fair play. Why? Because yes, effectively our attack wasn't that effective, but we were more defensively stable, and that is why we did not allow Manchester United many dangerous chances. Other than that Bruno chance, there wasn't really that many dangerous chances for Manchester United, and we were much defensively stable because of this tactic that Xavi went. And yeah, just like that, first half went by, score being 1-0. Now, of course, some of the players who did brilliant, you know what, we'll talk about that towards the end, because in overall, I want to give some praises to some players. So let's get into the second half where things just change. So of course, time for second half, and Ten Hag does a masterclass. So what he does is he brought in Anthony, and he put Anthony on the width and Bruno back to the cam spot, and that immediately brought them the comeback, the equalizer. It was by Fred. So it was, of course, Bruno Fernandes on the left hand side, and in this one I really have to blame Frankie, man. Like, Frankie should have properly man-marked Fred. He wasn't as close to him, and Bruno Fernandes did really well in terms of laying that ball for Fred. Fred had lot of space and lot of opportunity to shoot, and of course he did that. Ter Stegen could not save, and it was 1-1 equalizer for Manchester United. It really sucked very early on in the half. Really horrible start, and second half we just crumbled, guys. We like this masterclass that Ten Hag did. One change changed the whole game. One change. Anthony coming into this match, the pace that he brought, the flair that he brought, Bruno being in his position, it just made so much things effective for Manchester United. Rashford being the striker. Of course, Rashford was all right. Like, he wasn't really that dangerous in this game throughout. So that's okay. But like Bruno being back to his spot and Anthony using his pace, as well as Sancho from the left hand side. Sancho is actually as well not really that good. Either way, like as he tried to play central or even the left side, he was all right. He was okay. Which of course then Ten Hag realized that and then brought in Garnacho, who was another amazing sub. Like the quality and the subs for Ten Hag and Manchester United was absolutely brilliant. Like Garnacho coming on, just giving his absolute body on the line, that hunger to win the ball, to just run with the ball throughout the pitch. It was absolutely brilliant, and fair play, man. Like I said, Ten Hag just did really well. And yeah, second half, we lost control. We were not able to have our heads in. And of course, Araujo and Busquets and many couple of players really tried their best to give their all. And it really sucked. Like we just didn't have much control. We were choking. And I guess it's the mentality. Like Manchester United had Old Trafford to support them, and we had pretty much, I guess, some Barcelona fans in Old Trafford, but it really wasn't effective because we were just not in the right mindset. And then with all that choking going on, of course, there had to be a second goal for Manchester United to win them the match, and that indeed came on, I think, the 73rd minute. It started from Luke Shaw from the left hand side, who gave a back pass towards Bruno, but Rafinha was like, he almost got the ball, but Rafinha was absolutely thrown by Bruno Fernandes. Then Bruno Fernandes passed it inside towards Garnacho. Garnacho's shot, it was blocked, and then it went, I think the rebound went towards Anthony, and Anthony hit that goal in, made it 2-1 to Manchester United. And it really was upsetting. Like this goal probably Ter Stegen, man. Like he was so close. I think I don't know. Is it because of the pressure? Is it what that Ter Stegen just could not save it? I think if Ter Stegen was like the old form like the previous form that he was in, like he is in amazing form in this season, but just in this match he just could not do the stuff. So yeah, he could not do the save. And yeah, it really sucks, man. And of course, Xavi did indeed, bring his subs on as well. He brought on, I think, Ansu Fati. He brought on Marcos Alonso for Ronald Araujo, the player who was absolutely a beast in this match. But there's reasons for that though, because Araujo apparently had some discomfort. So just Xavi does know that Europa League is probably out of the match, it's probably out for us. So you know what, I can't risk Araujo to get injured. So he did bring in Marcos Alonso. Then I think Ferran Torres also came on for Rafinha, and Ferran Torres added a bit, I guess, change and a little bit clutch moments for us. Ansu Fati was probably the worst sub Xavi did. He was the worst sub. Like, I don't understand a player who's an absolute low in confidence, who should probably just be tried on La Liga. He's not even doing good in La Liga. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I know this is the truth though. Ansu Fati is low in confidence. You need clutch players. And what did he think after that goal that we conceded? He thought, let's go for crosses. That's what, Ferran Torres was doing. That's what even Frankie did, like the chance I mentioned, Frankie giving some cross inside for Koundé. Koundé then of course headed in towards De Gea, but then De Gea saved it big time. He went for crosses. So we had a player on bench who is very much 50-50, but he can be that clutch player for us. Jordi Alba, he was not brought on, and I'm so absolutely surprised because see guys, Balde, in all honesty, offensively wise he was not good. Defensively wise, he did his job. He did good in terms of keeping Bruno shut in the first half. Second half as well, it was going decent for Balde in terms of defensively wise, but offensive, because Xavi really went with that control type of play. I don't know, is it because he just instructed Balde to not go explosive and stuff? Really, Balde was not what he is usually, and we needed output. We had no effective output. Jordi Alba could have done that, and he was not brought on. Like, I'm just so like, I don't know what to say. How Fati? Like, you actually think Fati is going to do something? We need an effective creative output because we are lacking that throughout the match. Nobody was providing it. Frankie de Jong was so deep, and Frankie de Jong as well, fair play, like throughout, as Araujo got subbed off, he was giving his heart out, like Busquets as well. Like, some players who absolutely did the brilliance, I'll give all of them shouts later, but Frankie de Jong should have been a player instead of Roberto in that final third. Like, the crosses he could have given, the creative output he could have given, we missed all of it. And also I see the control, all the control and stuff, it really, had a purpose behind for Rafinha and Balde to go explosive, because we wanted to keep control, we wanted to keep possession, so we wouldn't get dispossessed, and then Balde and Rafinha would go crazy near the final third, because we needed some creative output, and we got none of that. Not even the second half as well. It was absolutely shite. It was shit, man. And I'm just so mad. Like, honestly, Jordi Alba, the difference he could have made, I'm still so frustrated as to why Xavi thought to bring an all-time low confident Ansu Fati for Jordi Alba for some clutch performance. And yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate. Barcelona, they really got outplayed by Manchester United. Manchester United beat them. It's unfortunate, man. It's really, really sad. And yeah, of course, some players that I wanted to give some shoutouts before ending of this video: Frankie de Jong, Ronald Araujo, Sergio Busquets, Roberto for his defensive aspects, Kessie. These players did absolutely brilliant. Christensen as well, I'll give some fair props to him. Balde, I guess defensively, offensive wise, he wasn't really that good. I wasn't really a fan of him today. offensive wise. Kunde, man, he was shit, man. Defensively wise, he sometimes was okay, but many times he was shaky. His ball distribution as well, just misplacing passes, it wasn't good at all. And yeah, Lewandowski as well, honestly, like, he got so many times dispossessed. It sucks, man. Like, he could not even hold the ball properly. It really just pains, man. It pains to me. Well, I guess that's where I'll put the curtains in. Manchester United, congratulations, you guys did well. Fair play to you guys, man. I'm just kind of salty here. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. I think our next match is in La Liga against Almeria, so I guess I'll see you guys that time. And yeah, peace.